أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لئن بسطت إلي يدك لتقتلني ما أنا بباسط يدي إليك لأقتلك إني أخاف الله رب العالمين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على الأتمان الأكملان على سيدنا محمد الفاتح الخاتم وعلى آله حق قدره والدار العظيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. And my brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In a continuation with our Quranic studies program today, we are going to continue from where we stopped yesterday. Yesterday we stopped at verse number 27 of Surah Al-Mai'da, chapter number 5 in the Holy Quran, and today we are going to start from chapter number 8. But remember, yesterday Allah was telling us the story of Bani Israel and the way they were committing sins and the way Allah was giving them favors. And we have started with the first verse that was telling us the story of the children of Adam, the two sons of Adam that had conflict, and one of them said that he was going to kill the other one as a result of the conflict that has to do with marriage. So the second child, that is Habil, that's the victim, is now responding to Qabil, his brother, who said that I'm going to kill you. And he said, إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. It wasn't my fault that Allah has accepted my sacrifice and didn't accept yours, because Allah accepts from the pious ones. So he said, لَإِنْ بَسَطْتَ إِلَيَّ يَدَكَ لِتَقْتُلَنِي مَا أَنَا بِبَاسِطٍ يَدِي إِلَيْكَ لِأَقْتُلَكَ. If you put your hands on me, if you put your hands against me to kill me, I'm going to withhold mine. I'm not going to put my hands against you to kill me. Because I have some fear of God in my heart, so I'm not going to kill you. So don't think that I'm going to have an altercation with you when you make attempt to kill me. I am not going to do anything. I'm just going to surrender and give you the chance to kill me, as long as that is what you want to do. إني أريد أن تبوء بإثمي وإثمك فتكون من أصحاب النار ذلك جزاء الظالمين. What I actually want to happen is that I want you to go back with my sin and your sin, and then that makes you one of the dwellers of the fire of hell. ذلك جزاء الظالمين. And that is the recompense of the wrongdoers. And the scholars of Tafsir said the reason he told him that was because in the Sharia and the legal system that Allah has given to Adam and his children, when someone wants to kill you, you don't go about defending yourself. You just let the person kill you, and then the person takes the sins that you have. There's two different opinions here. In Yuridu and Tabu of Ismi or Ethnic, does that mean that you're going to take all the sins that I have committed in my lifetime plus the sins that you have committed in your lifetime? Or does it mean that you're going to take all the sins that you have committed plus the sin of killing me? And the second one seems to be the stronger opinion. So I want you to go back to Akhirah, to the day of judgment, with all the sins that you have committed in this life, which is enough for you, and then plus the sin of killing me, for the Kunaminas have an hour, and that will definitely make you entitled to go to the fire of hell. And that is the recompense of the wrongdoers. فطوعت له نفسه قتل أخيه فقتله فأصبح من الخاسرين. فطوعت له نفسه قتل أخيه. And then his heart told him that yes, you should go ahead and kill your brother, and it's really easy if you want to do it. فقتله, and then he actually killed him. فأصبح من الخاسرين, and then he became one of the losers, one of the biggest losers, because he was the first ever human being to kill another human being. And when he actually wanted to kill him, he met him in the outskirts of the town, and he wanted to kill him, and he didn't know how to kill him because he has never seen anyone killing anyone before. So he had no experience whatsoever of killing anyone, and he was in his confusion. And then the Satan came around to teach him how to kill his brother. What he did was he found an animal, a bird, and he put him on top of a stone, and then he got another stone and he broke his head with the second stone, and that was when Qabil now saw, okay, that is the way to go about killing someone. So if I want to kill him, that's the way I would do it. So he actually went and found a big stone and he came and broke the head of his brother and he killed him. And after killing him, he didn't know what to do with him. Right, so Asbah al-Khasirin, he became one of the biggest losers because he killed his brother. He committed the first sin of killing someone, uh, the first sin of killing someone. Therefore, all the sins of anyone who's going to kill someone in the future is going to have a commission from that sin because he was the first to commit it. Still, Yom Al Qiyamah, which is really, really a very big burden on him. So after killing him, he didn't know what to do with the dead body, right? So he found a way of wrapping him up, but he didn't know what to do with it. So he carried him on his back and he started going about with the body, not knowing what to do with it until the body started decomposing, and animals were following him, waiting for him to drop him so that they would consume the dead body. He didn't want to do that and he didn't know what to do with it. So he started going about with the dead body. Some scholars said for 40 days, other scholars said for over a year, going about with the dead body, not knowing what to do with it. And during that, his confusion, not knowing what to do with it, فبعث الله غرابا يبحث في الأرض ليريه كيف يواري سوءة أخيه قال يا ويلتى أعجزت أن أكون مثل هذا الغراب فأواري سوءة أخي فأصبح من النادمين. And then Allah sent a crow to come and teach him how to bury his brother because he didn't know. So Allah sent two crows and they came in form of having this agreement, and then they started fighting. As they were fighting, one of the two birds killed the other. And then after killing him, he went and started digging in the ground with his mouth. And after digging, then he put his brother inside and buried the brother. And that was when this guy, Qabil, looked at himself and said, for Allah said, يا ويلتى عجزت أن أكون مثل هذا الغراب. It is so unfortunate that I couldn't do as this crow has done. I'm so ignorant that I didn't know what to do with the body of my brother. And look at an animal doing this wonderful job burying its brother. I should have done this. فَأَوَارِثُ أَخِي فَأَصْبَحَ مِنَ النَّادِمِينَ. And as a result of that, he regretted so bitterly. What did he regret about? Scholars said he did not actually regret killing his brother. He was so adamant he wanted to kill him because he didn't want his brother to marry his sister. He wanted to marry her. And he was so determined that no matter what, regardless of the consequences, he would go ahead and do that. So he wasn't regretting the fact that he killed his brother. He was regretting the fact that he has been carrying the body for either 40 years or a year without knowing what to do with the body. And that was what he was regretting. That is why we did not get to hear that Allah has forgiven him, because if actually he has regretted killing his brother, we would have heard that Allah has forgiven him. So after he killed his brother, during the time he killed his brother, their father, Adam alayhi salam, was not around. He went to perform Hajj. So he was there in Mecca when he got the revelation that actually there was problem back home. One of his children has killed another, and he started coming back. And then immediately he came back. He saw him, he asked him what happened. You killed your brother? He said, no, I didn't kill him. Where is he? He said, I don't know. I'm not his bodyguard, so I wouldn't know where he was. So he lied. He killed his brother and lied at the same time. But Allah has shown Adam that actually he killed his brother. So his father blamed him for killing his brother. And Adam alayhi salam became so upset that he didn't smile for over 100 years. Over 100 years without a smile on his face. And the whole family was in the mourning state, and they were so sad that Habil was killed because Habil was really, really a good person, whereas Kabil was just being tolerated hitherto. So when Kabil saw that he was rejected by the family because of what he did, he just decided to to take his sister. The one that his dad told him was an abomination for him to marry, but he still took her with him and left the place. So he went very far away and established his family there, started a family with her. They started bearing children together, and and Satan came to him again and did was worse in his mind and told him that, look, do you know the reason why your late brother's offer his sacrifice was accepted through the fire that came and took it, that blue fire that came and took it, and yours was not? And he said no. He said the reason was because he was actually worshiping that fire. That was what he was worshiping. That was why the fire came and took the sacrifice and did not take yours, because you don't worship it. So I would advise you to put your own fire here and start worshiping. And that was the first time that any human being worshipped other than God. The very first time in the history of mankind. So Qabil established a family, and he established place of worship, and he put fire there, and he started worshiping. When his children grew up, they saw what their father was doing and they followed suit. They started worshiping the fire, and they became Abadatun Nar, the worshippers of fire, for the very first time in the history of mankind. So they started the worshiping, and his children, because they were not supposed to be born um, through that way, he wasn't supposed to marry the woman that he had married according to the Sharia of Adam alayhi salam. So um, they became so bad that they just got busy drinking and committing fornication. They became really bad people, and that was the first time a whole um, a whole city, the first city of the bad people was established as against the good people. And Adam alayhi salam lived so long that he had seen his offspring reaching about 40,000 before he died. من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا ولقد جاءتهم رسلنا بالبينات ثم إن كثيرا منهم بعد ذلك في الأرض لمسرفون. من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل. And because of that, that is because of what Qabil did of killing his brother, كتبنا على بني إسرائيل. We made it part of the legal system of the people of the book Bani Israel, the Israelites. أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس. Anyone who commits murder, killed a soul without any justifiable reason of a certain without that soul committing, perpetrating evil in the land. فَكَأَنَّمَا قَتَلَ النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. The sin of doing that is equivalent to the sin of killing everyone, killing the entirety of the humanity. جَمِيعًا, everyone. وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا, and anyone who saved a soul, فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا, he gets reward as if he saved the whole of the humanity. The whole of the humanity is not equivalent to the population of the people in the world today. That will mean the population of any human being that ever lived, and that is really a lot of human beings, right? Even the population of the people in the world today is about 7 billion, but the estimate of how many people ever lived on this planet Earth so far is about 108 billion, a whooping 108 billion. And the expectation is that in the next few years, probably by 2025, the estimation will be about 140 billion human beings. That's a lot. And who knows how many more billions are going to live till the day of judgment, right? And Allah is going to give you the reward of each and everyone if you save one soul. And if you kill one soul, Allah is going to give you the sin of killing everyone from among all these human beings that ever lived on the face of the earth. That's a lot, right? So it's really a grave sin to kill someone. It's really a grave sin to commit murder. One of the gravest sins after shirk billah. Right? And the same thing, saving a soul is really a great good deed in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, most especially in this Ramadan period that we are in, this pandemic of COVID-19 is a great opportunity for good Muslims to reach out to the needy people and really try to help people. People are hungry, most especially in our cities in northern Nigeria, in Kano, in Maiduguri, in Gombe, in Katsina, in Jigawa. All of these states, people are really suffering. And it is an opportunity Allah is giving us here to come and save souls and get the reward of every human being that ever lived on the earth, right? You save only one soul. You don't have to do something really big if you can't, but at least a plate of food every evening in what you prepare for your iftar, invite one person to come and have a meal with you, right? Package only one plate and send it out. You get the reward, you don't provide the food. Your wife who cooks the food get the same reward. The boy that you send out to go and give the food to someone gets the same reward. This is an opportunity for all of us. May Allah give us the Allah give us the chance, and may Allah touch our hearts to be able to carry out this responsibility. إنما جزاء الذين يحاربون الله ورسوله ويسعون في الأرض فسادا أن يقتلوا أو يسلبوا أو تقطع أيديهم وأرجلهم من خلاف أو ينفوا من الأرض ذلك لهم خزي في الدنيا ولهم في الآخرة عذاب عظيم. إنما جزاء الذين يحاربون الله ورسوله. The punishment or the penalty of those who are fighting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger and they are perpetrating evil in the land. Their penalty and yuqattalu, that they should be killed, or yusallabu, or that they should be crucified, or tuqatta aydihim or arjuluhum, or that their hand and their feet should be cut off. Min khilafin, that is, if the right hand is cut off, and so the foot will be the left one, and if the left hand is cut off, and then the hand that will be cut off should be the right one, and so on and so forth. Or that they should be excommunicated from the society. ذلك لهم خزي في الدنيا, so that they will be humiliated in this life. ولهم في الآخرة عذاب عظيم, and they would go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and meet big punishment in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islamic scholars did not agree as to what is actually the historical context of this verse. And a number of scholars mention a number of opinions. Uh, Al-Imam al-Dahhak mentioned that this verse was revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about some Jewish people. Some Jewish people came to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he came to Medina. He had an agreement with all of them that you are not going to have an alliance with other people to fight Medina or to fight me, and I'm not going to do the same. I'm not going to have an alliance with anyone to come and harm you. But they decided to break that promise and actually supported other people to fight Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that verse was revealed because of those people. And they were called the fighters against Allah and His Prophet. The second opinion is from Al-Imam al-Dahhak, Al-Imam al-Kalbi. Al-Imam al-Kalbi said this verse was revealed, the context, the historical context of this verse is that there was a man who was the leader of his tribe outside of Medina, a little bit far away from Medina. And in the Amal food, the year of delegates, the year in which many people came as delegates to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, people were coming, and the road was still not as safe as it should be. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered into agreement with that person, said, okay, any set of people that are coming to me, you would make sure that they will pass through your city safe, and your people are not going to harm them. And they agreed on that thing. But unfortunately, people are coming, and the leader of that tribe was not around. But his people stopped them. They tied them down and killed them. So when the leader came back, he saw what they did, and then the story came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, okay, these people, this is what they have done, and this is what is going to be their punishment. These are the two opinions. But the third opinion, which is the strongest and is the opinion of the Jumhur of Ulama, is what Sayyid ibn Jubayr mentioned, that this verse, historical context, was that it is about the story of the Uraina and Uqal people. And the story was in Bukhari, in a very lengthy hadith, and he said, فيما معناه جاء قوم من أكل وأوعين إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فاجتووا المدينة قال رسول الله فأمر بهم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن يذهب بهم إلى إبل الصدقة ليشربوا من أبوالها وألبانها فشربوا وصحوا ولما صحوا قتلوا الراعي واستاقوا الإبل. Till the end of the hadith, is a very long hadith, that the people of Uqal and Uraina came to Medina to see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they came and they paid allegiance and they became Muslims and all of that. But after a while, they became sick. As a result of a little bit of a jet lag and all of that. So Prophet ﷺ said they should be taken to the outskirts of Medina, where the camels of Sadaqah was being reared. They should go. They should be given the milk and the urination of the camels to drink. That is what they need for them to be well. And they actually went there, and the person who was rearing the camels gave them that. And when they felt better, they killed all the people that were rearing the camels, and they even put some nails in their eye, flogged their eyes with nails, killed them, and then after killing them, they cut their body into pieces, and then they run away with the camels. And then the story came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He got to know what they did, so he sent people to go after them. and they eventually caught them in one of the valleys. And they brought them back to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When they were brought back, what this verse mentioned in this verse that we're reciting was the punishment that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam put on them. First of all, he cut their hand and their foot, just like they did to those people that were riding the camels. So he chopped off their hands and their feet, and after that, he asked for a nail and did to them the same thing that they did to those people. And then after that, they were thrown to the Sahara until they died. Right? So after they died, this verse was revealed to him to confirm what the Prophet ﷺ did. إنما جزاء الذين يحاربون الله ورسوله ويسعون في الأرض فسادا أن يقتلوا. Punishment of those who are fighting Allah and His Messenger, that they should be killed, and then they are perpetrating evil in the land, that they should be killed and they should be crucified, and their hands and feet should be cut off, من خلاف, right and left, or from the land, then they should be excommunicated. ذلك لهم خزي في الدنيا, so that they will be humiliated, just like they have humiliated those people. ولهم في الآخرة عذاب عظيم, and they will still get another punishment in the day of judgment. So Islamic scholars had a lengthy discussion about how to apply this verse in this context, right? In the hadith, when you look at the hadith, after they died, they cut them into pieces just like they have done to those people, right? But Allah stopped the Prophet ﷺ from doing that anymore. And anytime he has the chance to climb member, he would warn people against doing that. Except for that, all the other things apply to al-haraba. And haraba in our context and nowadays is what we call armed robbery, right? And Islamic scholars said for an act to qualify as an armed robbery and get this punishment, the act would have to have at least 3 features. The first feature is taking arm and scaring people. The second is killing. The third is stealing. And this stealing has a broad spectrum. It can be stealing goods. It can be raping, because by raping someone, they're stealing from the person. They are stealing the integrity, the self-esteem of the person, right? So these are the 3 things, these are the 3 components of armed robbery. Taking arms and scaring people, and then stealing, and then killing people. So the punishment that a judge should give to an armed robber depends on what he commits. So if he kills people, then he will be killed. If he steals but did not kill anyone, then his hand, leg, and foot will be cut off. And if he scared people but didn't kill anyone, didn't steal anyone, didn't steal anything, then he will be excommunicated from the society. And information will be given to the next governor to excommunicate them, and to the next governor to excommunicate them. The idea is that they should be humiliated so that they would desist from doing what they were doing. But what about crucifixion? Crucifixion comes when they combine 2 things. They kill and steal at the same time. So they will be killed and crucified, so that everyone will see them according to what they have committed. So this applies to armed robbers, and it also applies to all this banditry that is happening in Nigeria today, in Zamfara state, in Katsina, in most of the northern states. What is happening is a clear case of armed robbery and banditry, which fits perfectly to what is called in Islamic jurisprudence al-haraba, right? Al-haraba, this haraba is what is described in this Quranic verse. إلا الذين تابوا من قبل أن تقدروا عليهم فاعلموا أن الله غفور رحيم. What about those that repented before you were able to apprehend them? Allah said, okay, all those who repented before you were able to apprehend them, then you cannot apply any hukum, you cannot apply anything on them. And you should know that فَعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ, and know that Allah is forgiving and merciful. And this actually applies to all the al-hudud al-Islamiyya, all the punishments in Islam. Punishment in Islam are broadly divided into two based on the category of the sin committed. There are sins committed, it's a sin against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there are sins committed, they are sins against Allah and against other human beings. When you steal something, this is a sin against human being and against Allah. When you commit adultery, this is a sin against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So all the sins that are committed against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the person who commits the sin run away from the court, from the government before the punishment is applied. So even if you are able to get that person later on, much later on, then that judgment is no longer tenable. You cannot apply the judgment on the person Sharia-wise, Islamic-wise. It's no longer valid, right? Except in a situation whereby he wronged someone, like for example, he killed someone. This is an offense against Allah. Is an offense against is offense against Allah as represented by the Islamic government, and it's offense against human beings. So when the awliya of them, the relatives of the person killed, of the deceased, said, no, we can't accept that, so then they would have to pay the blood money so that will take care of the offense against human beings. And the ones against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is no longer attainable as long as he run away before the judgment was applied on him. الذين تابوا من قبل أن تقدروا عليهم فاعلموا أن الله غفور رحيم. So you should know that Allah is most forgiving and most merciful. So just like any other hudud, this also is applicable to al-hiraba, which is either banditry or armed robbery. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وابتغوا إليه الوسيلة وجاهدوا في سبيله لعلكم تفلحون. O you who believe, fear Allah and seek the means of nearness to Him and strive in His cause that you may succeed. ابتغوا إليه الوسيلة. Allah is talking to us about seeking means that will get us near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This can be either through our worship or through supplications and prayers when we are seeking something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are two ways in which we can seek means for nearness between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This wasila actually is like when you know that you are not good enough to ask Allah for whatever it is, but you want to find someone or something that is good enough and ask Allah to do that thing for you because of that one who is good enough, because you are not good enough. That is what it means basically. There are two ways. The first way is to seek the wasila to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through a good deed that you have done, entirely not in relation to this thing that you want to ask Allah right now. This is something that you know deep down your heart that you have done with complete ikhlas, long time ago, short time ago, but completely not related to what is at stake right now. And you want to use that to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that He'll give you what you want. It could be a sadaqah that you have given in the past. It could be some loyalty that you have shown to your parents. It could be some loyalty that you've shown to some of your relatives. It could be some nawafil that you've done in the night and no one happened to know about it. It could be some support that you have given to the needy people, some charity that you have given to some orphans. It could be a mosque that you built. It could be someone that you help educated. It could be anything that you have done, but you have to be 100% sure that you have done that with a complete sincerity of purpose, without any interference of other worldly intentions. So that is the kind of work that you can use, and you can say, "Oh Allah, I beg you to give me this, to make this thing that I want to happen. Let it happen because of this thing that I have done in the past. Oh Allah, atawassalu ilayk wa atawajjahu ilayk be," and then you mention the name of that thing. This is the first category of wasila. And the second category of wasila is the kind of wasila that you're going to do, the kind of wasila that you're going to invoke through using the names of some people that Allah is pleased with. This include the prophets, and definitely our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the leader in that respect. Prophets, some angels, some really good people that you know in your heart that these people are really good, far better than you, and so on and so forth. Scholars are discussing the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, first of all, taught people how to use his name as wasila and pray to God to ask for whatever it is that they want. And it comes in hadith when Prophet ﷺ was teaching someone to go and say, Ya Rabbi inni atawajjahu ilayka bihabibika Muhammadin bihajati an taqdiyaha. Ya Muhammad inni atawajjahu bika ila Rabbi fi hajati an yaqdiyaha. Oh my Lord, I'm seeking you to answer my prayers because of your servant Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh Muhammad, I'm using your name to seek Allah's acceptance of my prayers. Fi hajati an yaqdiha. This is that, and even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself in the Holy Quran is telling us in a verse, وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ يُزَّلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ جَاءُوكَ فَاسْتَغْفَرُوا اللَّهَ وَاسْتَغْفَرَ لَهُمُ الرَّسُولُ لَوَجَدُوا اللَّهَ تَوَّابًا رَحِيمًا. Those people, if when they wrong themselves, they have come to you, astaghfirullah, and then seek for Allah's forgiveness. Not just seek for Allah's forgiveness, but we should go to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam first of all, then seek for Allah's forgiveness. That is the peak of al-wasila. Not even invoking his name, but having to go to him and then seek for Allah's forgiveness. And then the Prophet seeks for Allah's forgiveness on our behalf. That is when you would find Allah most forgiving, right? And that is a peak of our wasila. And some scholars will say that, you can invoke the name of the Prophet ﷺ as wasila while he was alive, but you can do that when he's no longer alive. But this opinion is definitely baseless opinion. His Sahaba used to do wasila with him during his lifetime and after his lifetime. And there are many instances if you study the life of the Sahaba, for example, his sister-in-law, Sayyidah Asma, the daughter of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, for example, used to put his wrapper in water, soak it in water, and take the water when she's not feeling fine. And anyone who complains to her that is not feeling fine, she will give it to him to drink, because she believes that the blessings in that piece of clothes of the Prophet ﷺ, being in the water will heal any kind of ailments. And it has happened many a times. And there was a time that the rain was not coming in Medina. They said, okay, let's crack open the roofing of the room of Aisha radiallahu anha. That is where the tomb of the Prophet ﷺ is. If we open it, definitely the heavens will bring water. And they did, and it happened, right? And even the way they addressed him, even though he was no longer alive, doesn't give the sense that he was actually in the state of dead, just like any other human being. Another example is his sister-in-law, the daughter of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, who was born after Abu Bakr as-Siddiq died. She was with Aisha radiallahu anha, and Umar ibn al-Khattab wanted to get married to her, but she didn't want to marry him because she was really young, in her early teenagers, and she didn't want to marry him. And Aisha, because of who Umar was, she really wanted that to happen, right? And the girl kept resisting, and she kept resisting until it reached a point whereby the girl spoke up and said, "Inni alimtu," she said, "Inni alimtu annaki turidina an tuzawwijini ila Umar. وقد تعلمين شدته في دينه وغيرته على نسائه. والله لئن فعلت لأخرجن إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ولا أصيحن به ولا أذكرن له ما تفعلين. إني أريد فتى من فتيان قريش يصب علي الدنيا صبا." That's what she said. She said, I learned that you wanted to marry me off to Umar ibn Khattab, and you know how hard he is when it comes to how he holds his religion, and you know how jealous he is against his wives. Don't do that. But if you insist, I'll go to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At the time she was saying that I will go to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he died many years ago, right? Because when he died, actually, she wasn't born. She was born about 2 to 3 years, 2.5 years or thereabout after the Prophet ﷺ died, and she's already a teenager saying this, about 15 years or thereabout. And then she was saying that I will go to him, I will go to the Prophet ﷺ, I will go and yell on him, I will go and report you on top of my voice. That's what she meant. أصيحن به ولا أذكرن له ما تفعلين. I'm going to tell him what you're trying to do. Right? إني أريد فتى من فتيان قريش يصب علي الدنيا صبا. I need to marry a young man from Quraysh who is going to enrich me with the. Until the end of that, the relevant part of the hadith is this is someone who was born in the house of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. That's the house that is closest to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in terms of relationship. And this is a lady who grew up inside the house of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And look at the way she is talking about him, even though he died like 15 years ago, thereabout. Where did she learn that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam shouldn't be considered as if he is no longer alive because he died? Definitely she learned that in that house, right? So when you look at the way the Sahaba relate to the Prophet ﷺ, even though he died, you realize that actually anyone who tells you that what you can do with him while he was alive, especially the tawassul, you can do it after he died, that person does not understand how the Sahaba relate to the Prophet ﷺ. وَجَاهِدُوا فِي سَبِيلِهِ, and strive in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ, so that you will succeed, right? And success here is talking about salvation hereafter. That is what تُفْلِحُونَ means here. That is the meaning of the success that Allah is talking about. And وَجَاهِدُوا فِي سَبِيلِهِ, this jihad is of different categories and levels. It depends on the situation you are in. That determines the kind of jihad that applies to you in this particular context. If you are in a situation where you're weak, your jihad is jihad nafs. You do jihad nafs until your nafs is adaptable to and susceptible to doing all the religious obligations on you, and it keeps going on, depending on the situation. If it is in a situation whereby some weak people are being oppressed by some leaders, then your jihad there is speaking the truth to the leaders. Generally speaking, jihad means doing whatever it is that needs to be done so that the right thing will be done, whether it is on you, on somebody else, or anybody. That is what jihad means. إن الذين كفروا لو أن لهم ما في الأرض جميعا ومثله معه ليفتدوا به من عذاب يوم القيامة ما تقبل منهم ولهم عذاب أليم. Indeed, those who disbelieve, if they should have all that is in the earth and the like of it with it, by which to ransom themselves from the punishment of the day of resurrection, it would not be accepted from them. And for them, it's a painful punishment. What is this telling us is that, look, whatever you think you have in this life, it's irrelevant once you are gone. Once you die, nothing you have is relevant anymore. So if, as a result of what you have in this life, you so wronged yourself that you didn't do the right thing in this life, you didn't obey Allah in this life, you didn't do the obligations that Allah put on you, and you find yourself in Akhirah, the day of judgment, you have really, really shortchanged yourself. Because at that time, you may want to ransom yourself from the punishment. You don't even have anything to ransom yourself. So let's even assume that you have something. And that something that you have is the whole of this world. In fact, let's assume that you even have another like this, like the whole of this world and anything that it is in there. And you have something like that, and you want to give it as a ransom to ransom yourself from the punishment of Allah. It is not going to work. It is definitely not going to work. So if that is the case, if it is not going to work, then you have no reason whatsoever. You have no reason whatsoever to not to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because disobeying Allah is not profitable at all. Once you're dead in this life, that is the end of it. يريدون أن يخرجوا من النار وما هم بخارجين منها ولهم عذاب مقيم. They would wish to get out of the fire of hell, but never are they to emerge therefrom. And for them is an enduring punishment. So once a disbeliever goes there, someone who wronged himself and refused to obey Allah and obey the commandments given by Allah, once you go there and find himself in that punishment, they will be striving, making attempts to get out of the fire of hell. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. They're going to remain there. Right? And they are going to have an enduring punishment. The punishment there is very, very enduring. Right? It takes a very long period of time till eternity. Right? That's what Allah says. It's going to be there no matter how much you strive, no matter how much you try, nothing is going to work for them. So the only thing that will work is for a person to actually walk here. But once we are there, it's not going to work. And this is where we're going to stop, inshallah, and we are going to take it from there tomorrow from verse 38, inshallah. Allahumma hadina fi man hadayt wa tawallana fi man tawallayt. وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا اصرف عنا برحمتك شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك إنه لا يعز من عاديت ولا يذل من واليت تبارك ربنا وتعالى. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معاصيك ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدين. ومتنا اللهم بأسمائنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا أبدا ما أحييتنا واجعله الوارث منا واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا وانصرنا على من عادانا. لا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا إلى النار مصيرنا، ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك بنا ولا يرحمنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم ربنا زك نفوسنا وآتها تقواها، أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم ربنا زك نفوسنا وآتها تقواها، أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم ربنا زك نفوسنا وآتها تقواها، أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق الهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام.